Hello, and welcome to our Celebrate Black History Month Leadership Spotlight presented by Ford Motor Company Fund. During our leadership spotlights, we invite social innovators to share their experience and insights on empowerment as we reflect on the past and collaborate to build a better future for the next generation. I am Idesha Huff, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Manager at the Henry Ford. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Diola Anamachan, Consumer Community Banking Region Executive of Bank of America. Diola, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Bank of America?
So I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. I was born to two wonderful parents that didn't have much, but they had a big dream. And their dream was that one day their children can have good education and be able to do better than they did. And they worked very hard and tirelessly to provide that dream for me. So at the age of 17, they were courageous enough to allow me to leave the nest and journey to the United States in search of that better education and a piece of the American dream. Along the way, I have learned a lot in terms of the American dream. I have had a lot of challenges, a lot of failures, a lot of successes. And my experience has fortified my passion to make sure that I help others reach back and give back, to make sure that we can, what I've learned in my journey that has brought me to where I am today, I can help impart that on others and hopefully make a difference in other people's lives, as some folks have made a difference in my life around my journey. A little bit about what I do here at Bank of America. As the head of the community bank here in North Central, I am responsible for over 100 financial centers and 600 plus associates across not just Michigan, but also Illinois, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Dallas, Texas. And in order for me to be able to better explain my role, let me tell you what we do at the bank. Because our purpose at the bank is really to help make the financial lives of our customers better. And not just that, but also to make a positive impact on the communities that we serve. So in order for us to do that, my role, my job is to bring all the resources to bear to allow all of my teammates across our great geography to be able to deliver for our customers. And we do it through what we call Life Plan, where we meet our customers where they are and we help them on a journey to get to their financial dream. So that's what I do.
It's really, really important work. And it's clear that, personally and professionally, you can speak to what it means to build financial empowerment. So my next question is really tied to financial empowerment as we understand it to be a key to setting and reaching goals, whether it's, funding your education or saving for a home or growing a business. So what tips can you share with folks who are looking to take charge of their finances, and one tool that you might encourage young Black people in particular to learn on their journey?
It's a great question. So when I think about empowerment, there is no financial empowerment without knowledge and awareness, right? If you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't know, you are not going to do it, and you are not going to take the steps you need to take. So there has to be a desire to understand and in order to be able to get to the path to get to your dream. So when you think about funding for kids' college, there's 529 plan that parents can set up for their children, amongst other things. When you think about owning a home, credit and good budgeting are important resources to becoming a homeowner. And when I talk about resources, I'm talking about something like we have at Bank of America called the American Home Grant that gives up to $7,500 in closing costs to our customers to help them become homeowners. A lot of people don't know it's out there. So that's awareness that, hey, I can get help to get to where I need to get to. When I think about starting or growing a business, it's important to understand the tools and resources that you need. Is it credit? Is it lending? Is it, your clientele base? How do you build a strong business plan? All these things require awareness and good money habits. Here's the good news. here at Bank of America, we actually have a platform called Better Money Habits. That's a central resource for learning and education for all life stages. It's a platform where our customers can go pick on a topic that they want and learn, and even helps get them on a path. And once they've done that, they can actually reach back out to us and say, you know what, here's what I need. And we help them with that life plan to get to their destination. Here's my message to our young folks out there as they grow up. I think about my own daughter personally. In her 20s, when she was a freshman in college, we talked about credit and making sure she understands the importance of credit. Just like any other kids, like our dad, whatever, you know, she got her credit card, spent it, blew it. And now she's telling me that I wish I had listened, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure others don't make the same mistake I make, because now she's paying for that mistake. Take care of your credit, care about your credit, because it's going to be important for you to get a job. It's going to be important for you to get a car. It's going to be important for you, you know, to even buy a home. Good credit saves you money. The second thing is save for the future now. You have the gift of time, which is something you can't get back once it's gone. When I think about the Gen Z generation today in the 20s, just being able to put money away, buy shares in stocks. Today, you can be a stock owner. You could be part owner of Apple, Google, depending on what it is or what you can afford. In my days, you had to go to a stockbroker to buy stocks. Today, you can literally buy stocks in your living room on your computer. That's important. And I don't think enough of our youth understand that and care about that. So I would advise them to please pay attention to that, learn about it, be an investor out there for the future, so we can start breaking the wealth gap that exists today.
That's really, really great advice, and touches on a lot of different areas, you know, finances, as well as time being a resource, and acting quickly and sooner rather than later. My next question is sort of switching gears a bit. So we know that Bank of America is recognized as one of the best workplaces for diversity, notably by Fortune Magazine and Black Enterprise Magazine. So in your experience, how do you encourage a culture of collaboration that respects a difference while also builds a successful company?
Yeah. You know, this question is personal for me because when I think about diversity here at Bank of America, I know that it's a pillar of a collaborative culture. And when I joined this company 5 years ago, that was one of the reasons why I decided to join, because I knew it was a company that valued differences. I knew it was a company where I would not feel alone being a minority. And I knew there was going to be room for me to grow and aspire. As we know, for us as African Americans, you know, being able to break that ceiling has always been a journey for us, right? And those are all things that I know we hold dearly here. Not only that, we understand that, you know, when it comes to diversity, it makes us stronger, right? We care, not only do we care about it, we care about equality, we care about social justice. And all those things are pillars for us at the bank. When you bring all those things together, it makes us a stronger company. It makes us more successful because it allows us to reach beyond our walls, beyond our limits, because our customer base is very diverse. How better to reach them than people that it can identify with? So that's why it's something we hold very dearly, and it's a fundamental to our culture here at the bank.
Fantastic. You mentioned a little bit about the experience as an African-American. And my next question, I mean, we're celebrating Black History Month. So who is a Black leader that inspired you from past, present, or any part of your journey as a professional?
Absolutely. You know, when I think about the journey, as I call it, in our history, obviously Dr. King stands out because a lot of what we take for granted today, we wouldn't have it without some of his fight, struggles, and vision. So I would always be inspired by Dr. King and his philosophies and his words. But also someone that really I looked at and has inspired me is Frederick Douglass. When you think about the story of Frederick Douglass, this was someone that was born into slavery. And at the end of his life, what he has become is an example of how you overcome your current day challenges. not making excuses, not letting your present situation determine your future outcome. And if he could do it being a slave, what excuse do I have being a free man? And so when I look at the lives of those that has come before us, what inspires me is being able to push through and going forward, understanding that there are going to be challenges along the way, but you do not let them hold you back from your dream of accomplishment. And that's, again, one of the things that fuels me, is to be able to give back to folks that are traveling that journey and showing them and helping them to say, hey, you can do this. And that's part of our foundation at the bank, frankly, in terms of financial freedom. Because when you have financial freedom and you can break through the wealth gap, you can participate in many ways than one. So those two men are foundational for me in terms of my inspiration.
Wow, what a great way to wrap up this conversation. Deola, thank you so much for spending some time with us to chat about your experience at Bank of America and just your personal experience as well on your own journey. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure a lot of folks who are tuning in have some key takeaways and gems that they can walk away with as well. We hope you, yeah, of course. So we hope everyone who's tuning in is finding an impactful way to celebrate Black History Month this year. We invite you to join us at the Henry Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, and visit thf.org to learn about leaders, innovators, inventors, and entrepreneurs who inspire us every single day.